Just to have it on record, just think historical rumors. We've never been Scientology.
What about Scientology do you embrace?
I was introduced through it by Tom, and I'm a student of world religion. I was raised in a Baptist household. I went to a Catholic school. But the ideas of the Bible are 98% the same ideas of Scientology.
Pay your taxes. Mind your business. And keep Will Smith's wife's name out your mouth!
Eddie Murphy is a man that rarely pulls punches, and he has now opened up about the truth behind Will Smith's rise to fame.
And I followed it my whole career. It's very simple. There's three things you just do. These three things. Pay your taxes. Mind your business.
The ideas of the Bible are 98% the same ideas of Scientology. 98% the same ideas of Hinduism and
Murphy shared his definitive blueprint for success, saying, "It's very simple. There are three things. Pay your taxes, mind your business, and keep Will Smith's wife's name out of your mouth." It was a seemingly innocent jibe that was actually trying to unveil something much darker about the actor. Will Smith has cultivated a very lovable personality, but many have speculated that it's all a facade. He has a very dark past and an incredibly suspicious rise to fame. Some of the things he's done and the groups he's been affiliated with had never been brought up before, until Eddie Murphy decided to peel back the layers of Will's carefully crafted persona. While neither Will Smith nor Jada Pinkett Smith have ever confirmed their religious affiliation, the Smith family has long been rumored to be associated with the controversial and dangerous Church of Scientology. In a May 2011 interview with Men's Vogue, Smith discussed his exploration of various religions, saying, "I've studied Buddhism and Hinduism, and I've studied Scientology through Tom Cruise. And nobody's saying anything different." He faced considerable backlash for claiming that 98% of the principles are identical to the principles of the Bible.
And I've talked with Tom Cruise. He is one of the greatest spirits that I've ever met. Someone who is committed to making the world better. If people knew.
What do they try to do? Do they try to suppress you?
They have Scientologists picketing in front of people's houses, going, "Don't trust your neighbor," implying that he's a sexual deviant. They go after your jobs.
This would certainly explain a lot. Those associated with Scientology have often found themselves climbing the ladder faster than others. Leah Remini has released a memoir in the past, Troublemaker, Surviving Hollywood and Scientology, and it brought a lot of attention to the Church of Scientology and its famous followers. In an interview with ABC's 2020, Remini revealed many secrets that Scientologists are instructed to keep private. Having grown up in Scientology, Remini used the interview to discuss the various disciplines imposed on her and others. She left the church about 2 years ago to prevent her daughter from being indoctrinated into the faith. The Church of Scientology responded to her allegations, stating, "Ms. Remini needs to move on with life and stop obsessively blaming others for her problems, be it her former religion or those she has worked with professionally."
After your family.
Plus, did you know Tom Cruise when you were there?
Yes, I did know Tom.
He was sincere about it.
Tom is a fully dedicated and loyal Scientologist, absolutely.
Tom Cruise. I spent a day with Tom Cruise about Scientology. I went to the anti-psychiatry center.
And what did you think of that?
I thought he was total.
Why does Scientology attract some of Hollywood's leading actors and actresses? According to Jenna Hill, the niece of Scientology leader David Miscavige and others who have left the church, Scientology actively targets certain stars they believe will be susceptible to their teachings. The doctrine is designed to appeal to actors and actresses, convincing them that membership will enhance both their lives and careers. The church often highlights high-profile members like Tom Cruise and John Travolta as proof of its effectiveness, suggesting that certain personality traits make individuals more vulnerable to recruitment. Tom Cruise's background exemplifies this. His parents divorced when he was 11, and at 14 he joined a Franciscan seminary, initially aspiring to become a priest. Cruise struggled with dyslexia, making school difficult. In 1987, he married actress Mimi Rogers, who introduced him to Scientology. Cruise credited the church with curing his dyslexia, and soon became one of its most prominent members. Leah Remini has spoken about the special treatment Cruz received from the church. John Travolta also credits Scientology for his success. He was a young, aspiring actor when he was invited to a Scientology meeting. The youngest of 6 children, Travolta had dropped out of high school during his junior year. He told the Scientology group about an upcoming audition for a television show. According to Lawrence Wright in his book Going Clear, the group was instructed to stand, point toward the studio, and chant, "We want John Travolta for the part." At the next meeting, Travolta announced he had been cast in the role of Vinnie Barbarino, the part that would make him famous. "My career immediately took off," Travolta boasted in a church publication. "Scientology put me in the big time."
My opinion that it's fraudulent because everything in Scientology is a promise of when you get to these upper levels, you will handle this in yourself, you will handle that.
I haven't had a reaction with my tear ducts. I've literally...
Many actors, including Will and Jada Smith, Kirstie Alley, Priscilla Presley, Patrick Swayze, and Russian dancer Mikhail Baryshnikov have spent significant time and money supporting the Church of Scientology. Leah Remini's book has raised concerns among many in Hollywood who prefer to keep their association with the church and its teachings private. Additionally, some reports suggest that these celebrities maintain their ties with Scientology out of fear that its leaders might disclose personal information about them to the media. Will Smith has spent nearly 4 decades carefully crafting a non-threatening persona to ensure his upward mobility. In a 2021 interview with the New York Times Magazine, Smith explained, "I'm trying to create a joyful persona, and it's because a long time ago I realized how you enter a space is going to determine how the space reacts to you. I want to walk into a room and get as many friends as quickly as possible." Smith, a definitive celebrity of the past half-century, has excelled at maintaining his fame over the years. This skill allows him to lay low and re-emerge at opportune moments. For example, while Coachella fixture Vanessa Hudgens, a co-star in Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys, Ride or Die, was absent from this year's festival, Smith made a surprise appearance during J Balvin's set, performing the Men in Black theme in full Agent J costume. Re-emerging as a beloved character from a successful franchise is a savvy move. With Bad Boys, Ride or Die, Smith is also reprising his role as Mike Lowry, his breakthrough character from another hit franchise. Recently, Smith and Martin Lawrence appeared in character alongside Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler in cross-promotional ads for Bad Boys, Ride or Die, and the NBA Finals. Smith also performed Miami on top of a double-decker bus at the Bad Boys Ride or Die Los Angeles premiere and sat down with Sean Evans on Hot Ones as part of his press commitments.
It's like life is so hard. Everybody wants somebody that's like, it's whatever, man.
This strategic maneuvering was almost certainly always part of the plan, and many are now speculating that this is always how Will planned to get back into the spotlight. Now, let's trace Will's interesting career trajectory. In Dan Charnice's extensive music industry tome The Big Payback, The History of the Business of Hip-Hop, various executives identified DJ Jazzy Jeff in the Fresh Prince era Will Smith as a potential movie star. In 1988, music executive and future film producer Ann Carley told a skeptical Russell Simmons, Smith's manager at the time, "I think Will Smith can be as big as Eddie Murphy." 2 years later, John Landis, who directed Murphy in Trading Places 1983 and Coming to America 1988, echoed this sentiment to Disney lawyer Ken Hertz, saying, "He's going to be the next Eddie Murphy." While Independence Day 1996 launched Smith into superstardom, it was Bad Boys 1995 that first established him as a legitimate movie star. Bad Boys marked Smith's biggest film role up to that point and allowed him to break free from the constraints of network TV, where he played a fictionalized version of himself on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. As Mike Lowry, Smith brought an edge that rivaled Eddie Murphy's Axel Foley from the Beverly Hills Cop franchise. In the 1990s, Will Smith took on his first movie role in 6 Degrees of Separation, where he played a gay con man who hustles a wealthy couple in New York's high society. While critics praised Smith's performance, his behavior on set wasn't as well received by his co-stars. Reports surfaced that Smith refused to kiss his co-star Anthony Michael Hall on camera, a decision he later regretted. In December 1993, Smith told Entertainment Weekly, It was very immature on my part. He revealed that he avoided the kissing scene after consulting Hollywood legend Denzel Washington, who bluntly advised him, "Don't be kissing no man." Smith was concerned about how his friends in Philadelphia would react to the scene, saying, "I was thinking, how are my friends in Philly going to think about this?" Reflecting on his decision, Smith admitted, "I wasn't emotionally stable enough to artistically commit to that aspect of the film. This was a valuable lesson for me. Either you do it or you don't." Co-star Ian McKellen also weighed in on the issue during an interview with Time Out London. McKellen said he was a charmer and a good actor, but he did one silly thing. He refused to kiss another boy on screen even though it was in the script. By the time Bad Boys The Scene 2 was released in 2003, Smith was in the early stages of a record-setting run of 8 consecutive films that each grossed more than $100 million domestically. He had entered what could be termed his Dynasty mode, and the film showcased the maximalist version of Lowry, thriving on chaos. However, by the time Bad Boys for Life premiered in 2020, Smith had experienced a decade of career misfires, while the entertainment industry around him evolved. Lowry, still engaging in his old antics despite entering middle age, faced new challenges. He dyed his goatee and struggled with the inevitable changes, reckoning with his mortality, legacy, and behaviors he had outgrown. Bad Boys. Ride or Die arrives at a time when both Smith and Lowry must acknowledge that they can no longer operate as they once did. His memoir, Will, published just over a week before the release of King Richard, included poignant stories from his childhood, such as witnessing his father's abuse of his mother. This book was part of the promotional campaign for King Richard, and Smith used it to drop the facade, speak his truth, and embrace what he called his F-it 50s.
Each of my siblings remembers that night in the bedroom. With me standing there in the doorway, I watched my father punch my mother so hard that she spit up blood. Daddy-O was one of the greatest blessings of my life and also one of my greatest sources of pain.
However, this era of radical honesty, while liberating, also left him feeling overexposed. This vulnerability carried into his Oscar campaign, culminating in the infamous moment when he slapped Chris Rock. In recent times, a particular rumor that spread rapidly was about Will Smith's alleged intimate involvement with his co-star, Dwayne Martin. Brother Bilal, Smith's former personal assistant who reportedly worked for him in the late 90s and early 2000s, claimed that Smith and Martin were having an affair. Smith's team dismissed these claims as unequivocally false, stating that the allegations were completely fabricated. Jada Pinkett Smith also defended her husband in an interview, mentioning that they were considering legal action over these accusations. Recently, Brother Bilal doubled down on his claim about Will's alleged affair with Martin, asserting he has evidence to support his allegations. In a new interview on Unwind with Tasha K last week, Bilal suggested that Will and Jada's prompt response to his previous claims indicated their truth. He said, "The reason Will responded and the reason Jada responded is because they know it's true. They responded in less than 9 hours. Because he knows what I saw in that dressing room, he knows other things that I saw." Bilal added a challenge. "Jada, listen, in 2 weeks, if you don't sue me, if Tasha K will have me, I'm back here and I'm dropping evidence. You said I extorted you. You said it was a money shakedown. You said a lot of things about me." In a previous interview with Tasha K, Bilal claimed that he found Will Smith and Dwayne Martin engaged in an intimate act in Martin's dressing room. While Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith have threatened legal action, Dwayne Martin has not publicly addressed the rumors. Martin and his ex-wife, Tisha Campbell Martin, divorced in 2020 after a contentious 2-year-long legal battle. On top of that, YouTuber Trisha Paytas accused Will of inappropriate behavior towards her male dancers. She also made comments about his parenting and his alleged infidelity. Some suggest that Will might be following in the footsteps of Quincy Jones, who has faced rumors about his own S. Jones. A music industry legend has been the subject of speculation about his interest in men, with some claiming he influenced the S preferences of people like Will Smith and Tupac. These claims are hard to verify, especially since an interview where Tupac supposedly revealed inappropriate propositions by Jones has mysteriously disappeared. Additionally, there are whispers about Will and Jada hosting unusual gatherings at their home, involving younger men. Jaguar Wright even claimed to have seen young men leaving their house in distress. She alleged that both Will and Jada are bisexual and engage in strange activities. The Smiths' relationship with their children also draws attention. Will has been seen giving his son Jaden kisses on the lips, which some view as innocent paternal affection, but others find unusual. Many fans have expressed discomfort, criticizing Will for making Jaden uneasy with frequent kisses on the lips. Despite the backlash, Will has consistently denied any wrongdoing or discomfort caused to Jaden. One person commented, "That's disgusting. No one kisses their kids on the mouth like that, especially when they're teenagers." Another wrote, "This is definitely child abuse, and there's always a negative impact on the child. Adults should think about the impact of their actions on their children." Rumors are also swirling about Will and Jada hosting extravagant gatherings at their home, often attended by younger men. Jaguar Wright has suggested these events explore non-traditional boundaries, claiming to have seen young men leaving the Smith residence looking distressed. Some think Will might be following the example set by Quincy Jones, the legendary music producer who has been open about his experiences in the industry. Quincy once revealed in an interview that famous individuals like James Baldwin, Richard Pryor, and Marvin Gaye were queer. Following these revelations, a prominent YouTuber speculated that Quincy himself might be bi-s, questioning whether he was the right person to disclose others' sexual orientations. The saga doesn't end there. The YouTuber claimed to have a friend with connections in Hollywood, alleging that Quincy engaged in intimate relationships with men, even in his 70s. These allegations suggest Quincy kept his interest in the same gender hidden for years and played a significant role in the LGBTQ+ community within the entertainment industry. Further claims involve Tupac, who reportedly faced inappropriate advances from Quincy Jones. Allegedly, Quincy tried to coerce Tupac into intimate activities, leading to speculation that this contributed to Tupac's eventual death. Alexis Arquette, a late actress, once claimed that Will Smith's first marriage ended after his ex-wife caught him in a compromising situation with another man. Jada has never addressed these allegations, and Will's first wife, Cherie Zampino, strongly denied them, calling the accusations offensive and untrue. Back in 2014, the Smiths also found themselves under scrutiny by the Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services after a photo surfaced showing their 13-year-old daughter Willow in bed with 20-year-old Moises Arias. After an anonymous report raised concerns about Willow's welfare based on the photo, the Smiths were investigated but eventually cleared of any wrongdoing. Jada spoke out about the incident to TMZ, dismissing any insinuations of impropriety. "There was nothing else about that picture or situation. People are projecting their own issues onto it. It's unfair and not cool." This also led to a lot of people questioning Will for letting his daughter do that. Do you think there's more to Will Smith than meets the eye? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.